Hi Gemini, welcome to your June 2021 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for we're going to start with your moons, right? Every month you get a new moon and a full moon, and we're going to have a look at where these are for you. So happy birthday if you are celebrating this month and it is your birthday. I truly hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to fill the day of your solar return with a little bit of everything that you want this whole year ahead to have in it for you. Do things that you really love, or the things that you want to be a part of your life from now on. So your new moon is happening in your first house, specifically if you're a Gemini ascendant or Gemini rising, and to a lesser degree the sun, and to a lesser degree the moon, but right, remember anything that happens in your first house, it gives you, in my humble opinion, a modicum of control over how that shapes up, right? So anything that happens in your first house, this is truly about you. So what are you going to do with it? If a new moon is a time to plant seeds and set intentions and press ahead with something, what are you bringing into the world? Your first house is about you, your body, your thoughts, your mind, like literally you as an entirety. What about yourself? Are you ready to change, or are you ready to highlight into the world in some way, shape or form? What are you ready to grow in your life that is you related? And your new moon message, oh yeah, is the gate 55 and abundance, right? So I can hear all of you Geminis out there like, what? Yeah, you're ready to grow your abundance. And I love this. This gate about abundance is actually being activated in the human design system around the time that I'm speaking, around the time that I'm filming these videos, which I find really interesting. So I feel like this month you're going to be tapping into that energy, and you've got the energy of the 55, right? So what is this all about? It's the double energy of power, but it's also the double energy of integrity. So whatever it is that you choose to build, create or welcome into your life, however you use this new moon energy, make sure that it is for your highest good and for your highest abundance, and find a way to spread that abundance among the people that you love and care about, or even among the world in some way, shape or form. Gemini, you better get it. For your full moon message on the other end of the month, this is taking place in your 8th house. This could be really about your deep thoughts, your deeper thoughts and feelings. This could really as well highlight to you some sort of personal fear, something that on a deeper level maybe that you haven't addressed. Remember, the full moon, if the new moon is a fresh start, and the full moon is a culmination or a completion or a peak moment or experience, remember also the full moon puts a spotlight on something. So it's highlighting this and bringing it out into the open, into the awareness. This would be what I call a spotlight. It's like shining a light into the dark, right? Into maybe the deeper and the darker, more psychological part of your nature. It may even see you gain a real perspective or understanding about what your deeper drives and motivations may be, where they might come from and what fears they might be attached to. One of the things that I absolutely love about this for you as well, it could really help you highlight to people what your true motivations are for your abundance, or how you're going to create that, or what you might need to create that. Remember, the 8th house is all of the things that I talked about. It's also the house of the occult. It's also the house of spiritual, things like magic and intention and energy and all of those things. So maybe finding ways to use this as well. And your gate You got the gate 10 and empower. This is a really awesome card to have, especially in this position, because it means if you can find a way to face your own fears, you can literally lead by example and show other people how to do the same thing. It's like, you know what, this thing shits the life out of me and I'm really scared of it, but I'm gonna face it head on, and you can do the same. This reminds me of a saying that I absolutely love. I read this in a book when I was like 14. I think I might have even been younger than that, and it was there's nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it. And I was like, yeah, that's a little bit of me. I love it, right? So check this out as well. We're talking about numerology vibes here. You've got the gate 55, 5 and 5 gives you 10. Then you've got the gate here, the gate 10. So you've got a double hit of this completion, culminative kind of energy. This could be a big month of crescendos for you in some way, shape or form as well. So be aware that that energy is likely to be around. For your actions and interactions with the world at large, let's have a look what comes up. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large, you've got the Sun card. You are being highlighted. The sun is in your sign. The sun is in Gemini, putting a spotlight on you in some way, shape or form, whether this is your sun, your moon or your ascendant. This is about acting from a place of integrity. It's about showing people who you really are. The Sun card gives you blessings, abundance and joy, and it makes things so much warmer and lighter than they have been. Now you do have your ruler Mercury in your sign going retrograde, so just be aware that that energy is floating around. Might be making things a little bit fuzzy, a little bit hazy, but at the same time I really feel like this is going to go a long way for you to discover what you are about now and how you're ready to present yourself to the world. For your second card, you have in your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands. So an Aries or a Leo person may feature for you this month. So in some way, shape or form, you could be connecting to one, because this card falls next to the sun, right? And the Queen of Wands is usually a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now when it comes to your money and materials and your finances, one thing that I want you to urge or caution against this month, yes, abundance is coming to you. You're thinking about building this and creating this. You can't swim with a bag of rocks on your back. So this month, set some very clear definitions and intentions around your finances and your money. If you have to maybe cut someone off financially, if you have to set a boundary financially, if you have to stand your ground when it comes to the money and materials in some way, shape or form, this would be a really good month to do so. You know, if you have to have a tough or a challenging conversation around money, this might be the month to do so. It's also a really good month for you to find ways to enjoy the fruits of the labor that you've already put in, right? Which is great. For your communications and conversations, you have the Judgment card. So there are likely to be some very big conversations this month, maybe some very big conversations about who you are or about where you're going. For some of you, this could be in terms of relationships. For some of you, this could be a big conversation about what you're not willing to accept or do or foot the bill for on a financial level. When it comes to your work and that entire sector, it does look like a lot of you are very much ready for a change now. So you are ready to go in a different direction, a new direction. It suggests in a lot of ways as well, there may be a blast from the past. For some of you, this could be a reconnection or a rekindling of a friendship, a partnership, a collaboration in some way, shape or form. It could be that it's very lucrative for you, but it is going to require some really stark and frank honesty, especially because you've got the Sun card here as well. So that kind of shines a light on the whole thing and says, all right, maybe it will be challenging to reconnect or rekindle this thing. But the Sun card there kind of says, but I'm going to smooth the way for you. It's kind of like, for me, I see the Sun card as like the cosmic green light. It's usually when the universe is like, I got you, do what you got to do. Right, you do the heavy lifting and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to spot you, right? So whatever's going on, you've got it because I've got you. And then finally, for your love and relations, you have the Moon card. So I'm going to say this to you, whether you are partnered or single, right? The moon card, very often about past issues, things, fears even. This could be clearing up past fears and issues around relationships and partnerships in some way, shape or form as well, that full moon energy. Now, because you've got the moon card coupled with the harvest, whether you're partnered or whether you're single, this month, Gemini, I'm sorry to say, but your ex is back in town, right? That old tumbleweed person who comes in, you know, destroys stuff and then blows on out of your life. It looks like they're back, and unfortunately it doesn't look like there's anything you can do about that. All you can do is move forward in a different way. All you can do is do things moving forward in a different way to the way that you've done them before. How much you have evolved determines how much the situation will be different this time around. For those of you that are single, I mean, this could really highlight some stuff to you, right? You could really get a glimpse at, okay, this is what I'm actually afraid of when it comes to relationships, and this is ultimately how I can move forward, right? So you might come up against a fear and then say to yourself, right, I know how to release this now, or now that I know what that fear is and I've put a name to it, I've named it, I've shamed it, I've blamed it, and now I can let it go. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, slightly different energy. There is something this month that you are going to have to talk about with a partner. It may have something to do with finances. Maybe you're the one that's a bit more pragmatic and a bit more sensible with the money, and your partner's being really frivolous, and it's like, look, we can't get to where we want to be if you're constantly, you know, chipping away at our savings, if you're constantly buying that we don't need, or, do you know what I mean? Like, this is going to see you getting real honest with the partner this month, and I actually think that's a good thing. I always think that's a good thing. I'm an Aquarius, you know, what are you going to do, shoot me? I'm having visions of the comments on that one. For your first week of the month, whoa, look at this, you have a double hit of the Sun card. This is going to be a great month for you, even with the challenges that are happening on the wider world stage. If you saw the life path videos that I put out, or the sign videos for 2021, I talked about June being a very challenging month for a lot of people. This was backed up by a very awesome astrologer, Heather, from Astrology with Heather. I asked her, once I'd finished recording the videos, I was like, what's going on in June next year? Because it seems to be a shit show. No, when she had a look, she was like, yeah, you're bang on with that one. So it was really awesome to have it verified by somebody that really knows what they're doing with astrology. If you don't know who Heather is, what rock have you been living under, head over to her channel and hit that subscribe button. She is awesome. For your second week of the month, you have the Star card, right? This is great. So it does look like if you're having to set a boundary with finances this month, it's likely to be with a friend. The Star card always suggests that it is, you know, friends, companions, compatriots, you know, compañeros. That's the only word that came to mind. But yeah, you know, you might have to do that. Now, in terms of the Star card itself, this really, you could be getting a very good look behind the scenes at something, and you might be formulating a plan of something that you want to model your own ideas or business or work around, which I think is really cool. For your third week of the month, you have the Justice card. I mean, this is going to be a big decision. This is, so whatever it is that you're doing this third week of the month, this could be, and this is around the time as well that Mercury stations to go direct. So I would just be conscious and cautious about what you are doing at that time, especially if there's a contract involved. You know, just be aware that that energy is around, right? So if you are signing something, get a fresh pair of eyes, get a new perspective. It's very often as well, it's like, you know, when you read something over and over, and you're just so used to seeing it that you don't spot the mistakes, and then you hand it over to someone else and they're like, yeah, you know, you spelt this wrong and there's this, and like, it's because you can't see it anymore. That's why that fresh eyes and perspective always helps, especially in a Mercury retrograde. For your fourth week of the month, you have the Strength card. For those of you, in fact, for those of you that are single or partnered, when this ex-person, dalliance, you know, whatever they might have been to you, rolls in, kick them to the frickin' curb, right? There's nothing that they have for you. The Strength card is basically saying, have the courage and the strength to say, you know what, you are no good for me. Thank you for coming back into my life to show me or to reveal to me whatever it is I needed to know on a personal level to fix and heal. Outside of that, I'm not interested. All right. Have the courage to say no. Have the courage to turn this person away. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, have the courage to delve into this with your partner, you know, to have the tough conversation, to say what needs to be said, to share your heart with somebody. You know, sometimes it's that as well. You know, if you, for those of you that are out there in relationships and you're still commitment phobic, get it together. Okay. With that said, I was having visions of all the cross watchers for Gemini, like. With that said, listen, have a great month. Let me know in the comments how it, I mean, it looks like you're going to have a fantastic month, right? But let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.